Hey y'all, my name's Chad Lee. I'm a sophomore at Clemson University. This is my vlog for Library 100, and the one I did was the 50 years after integration, a dialogue on race. It was on November 13th in the Norris Hall conference room. Um, the first thing we did, well, first off, I'll just tell you what it was about. It says, 50 years later, race and ethnicity continues to inspire conversation here at Clemson. The depth, the depth at which ethnicity impacts our lives continues to have an impact on our ability to relate to people different than ourselves. In this dialogue, participants are encouraged to explore the personal and community impact race and race and ethnicity and its impact on how we see ourselves and others around us. Um, well, the first thing we did, we went in, we all sat down, we were all pretty quiet, and then the instructors came in, the leaders of the dialogue, and they passed around the sheet, kind of explaining the dialogue, and like we read about it. Those like three different columns or whatever, and we just went through the list. We had to read them out loud one at a time, and then we kind of talked about race and how we would pretty much describe it, and I don't know, the way that they were explaining it was almost like they were talking about culture instead of race. They were almost, I don't know, it was, I don't know. We just went through. We had about four different. We had a bunch of white people. There was maybe uh, three African Americans. There was one Hispanic, and there was one Indian. And one of the instructors was actually Latino, and she was actually very into this dialogue, and she kind of um, told us a lot of her scenarios and stuff because she's a teacher. She just loved just going off and just talking about random stuff. And one of the questions that they asked was, did that we actually had to answer was, did the group achieve dialogue? And I would say we did. The instructors actually said it was probably one of their best dialogues that they had been in, and I don't know. We talked about a bunch of stuff and a bunch of racy things at that, and I don't know. The teachers kind of went along with it. They at times we got too loud. Too many people were talking at once, and they kept saying one of the stats on the sheet was actually that people, whenever the minorities were talking, uh, the dominant culture or ethnicity would actually try to talk above them, which really I don't see why that would be a reason why people would actually talk up. And people in our class at the end, they were like, we can ask any questions we want, like there's no hard feelings. And one of the kids actually raised his hand, and he was like, I just don't understand how that could be the reason, because he was actually one of the kids that was talking. He was like, the her being a minority and talking had nothing to do with us talking over her. It was almost like they were just trying to find a reason for us to kind of like argue back and like keep the dialogue going. Uh, one of the uh, one of the activities that we did, we played like a four corners game. It was like one of the walls was strongly disagree to all the way, or disagree, agree, and then strongly disagree. And one of the questions, like, there were like percentages, like what would we think of the percentages of minorities at the school, and they would give us four options, and like different percentages or something. We just go to each corner that we thought uh, it was right, and then we did percentage of minorities in South Carolina, and workers on campus, and then ended up how many statues and buildings do minorities claim to be in Clemson? And there's only one, surprisingly, even though our school was built like during when slaves were around. And like I said, the leader said it was probably one of the best dialogues they'd had. Let's see, at the very beginning of class, actually, the icebreaker I would say was we had to get up. We had to get a partner, and we had to explain three things that we liked without using our hands. So like if I was wearing like a Clemson shirt, I would say I like Clemson, and then or Clemson, and I don't know, just random things like that. And at the very end, we had to do a pie chart type deal, and we had like there was like eight options, and one was like race and religion and sex and socioeconomic status and how much we worried about that during the day, which I really didn't honestly know what to even where to start with that. I just kind of I don't know during the day I don't know I'm focused on school and other things. I'm not worried about race. I'm not going around. I don't know. It just really didn't seem like that big of a deal. And yeah, well, that's about it. All right, thank y'all.